Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Jen, and around here I like to talk about wellness, weight loss, and just how to make your health journey actually fit in your life, not take it over. It's a balancing act for me still, but I've been on a GLP weight loss journey for over 2 years. I started on Mounjaro, and after some insurance drama, which I'm sure many of you know all too well, I wish you didn't, but I transitioned to compounded tirzepatide, and I've lost over 90 pounds, and it still shocks me to say something like that out loud. I think there's good and bad to that, but anyway, this channel is all about, in my opinion, the real stuff, the ups, the downs, and that little messy middle. It's the roller coaster, I call it. So if you're on this path too, or thinking about starting, hit that subscribe button and, click on the notification bell. I try to drop new videos on Mondays and Thursdays, and I just love for you to be part of this community. Okay, so today's video is especially for my GLP-1 crew or anyone just researching and trying to figure out if this path is right for them. And we're talking about something that no one really warns us about, but it makes such a difference in my opinion. And that's the day you take your shot matters, like a lot. I mentioned this briefly in a past video, which I'm gonna try to link below. But today I want to dive just a little bit deeper because over the past couple weeks, I've been feeling super tired. I've talked about it a little bit off and on, but it's like a hit by a truck, can barely think kind of tired. And that's just annoying. It's unsustainable with everything I've got going on with work right now and still on a weight loss journey. But I've been taking my shots on Saturdays for about a year now. It's easy, it's familiar, and it was just part of my weekend reset. But lately I started realizing that my fatigue would peak also on Mondays and Tuesdays, and with project deadlines and my workouts, I really felt like I just couldn't afford to keep feeling like I was, dragging my body. I felt like I was dragging my body throughout the day. So I want to test moving my shot day. It's a small change, but it really is a big deal. And just to be transparent, last week I skipped my shot completely. I had to go to New Jersey, celebration of my aunt who passed away a couple months ago. I had a lot of family gatherings, and I just didn't feel like it was I didn't have the right headspace really. And I just knew that if I took my shot, it wasn't gonna go well. I didn't want to deal with the fatigue. So I made the call to just hold off until I got home. And honestly, that pause, I think, gave me a little bit of clarity. I also then decided just to wait a couple more days to take it. I felt like that brain fog lifted, just clarity came back. I'm talking to you right now, and this is probably the best I have felt in weeks. But I'm also starting to monitor my blood pressure because it was a little bit on the low end. And I want to find a way to maybe track my blood sugar because I suspect it's dipping a little bit low. Not like dangerously, alarm, but I just want to figure out a way to take a look at that. But I want to come back to this mantra that I come back to quite often, is that I really need to treat this like a clinical trial for myself. I don't have a perfect blueprint for maintenance or tapering or being 2 years in. I'm working with my doctor through Mochi Health. We're experimenting with possibly lowering my dosages, maybe longer intervals. But let's talk about what you came here for. And that is, does shot day matter? I'm gonna break it down in this video. So first one, side effect timing. If you've taken a GLP-1, you probably know the side effects can be real. The nausea, the fatigue, headaches, to name just 3 of them. It's like your body throws this mini tantrum after each dose. So some people feel fine, others get knocked out. So I think picking your shot day isn't just that calendar decision. It should be a little bit of a strategy. I used to take mine on Sundays when I first started because honestly, that's when I picked up my first prescription. I didn't plan ahead. I just thought, okay, I got my medicine. Why don't I just start today? Maybe for you, you want to try Friday evenings because you got a weekend, to rest, hydrate, eat light, and just see how your body reacts. If you're more active on weekends, maybe you try Tuesday night because then by Friday, you're hopefully past the worst of it. Number 2 is appetite suppression strategy. And this is one of my favorite tricks, and no one really talks about this enough, I think, is that tirzepatide doesn't suppress your appetite evenly throughout the week. Most of us feel that, our appetite dips strongest 1 to 3 days after injection. So think about your cravings and think about your routines. Do you struggle on Fridays with takeout or Sunday, Brunch with your friends. I love a good brunch. Maybe you want to inject 1 to 2 days before your most tempting day. That way your hunger hormones are quiet when you really want them to be. For me, I do really good Monday through Friday. But when the weekends roll around, the wheels can come off at times. I try to do the best I can. So I think moving my shot to Friday makes sense. I'm playing defense. And then 3, routine equals results. Our bodies love routine. So does our brain. If you're constantly changing your shot day, which is not recommended, it's hard to track how it's actually working and even harder to build a habit around it. Pair it with an existing habit if that helps you. Like Friday after work is self-care time, or Sunday evening is part of your, reset routine. Saturday after your weekly weigh-in. It's really not about just remembering, it's reinforcing. When it becomes automatic, then, that's when I think the real progress can start. And then number 4 is just timing around your workouts. This one hit me the hardest. I have 2 leg days a week. Monday's one of them. And lately I have been dragging on Mondays. I can barely push through these workouts. The fatigue was making me, in my opinion, I think underperform. And I don't think that's okay with me. I want to show up and I want to get strong. So I thought about it. When are my most intense workouts? When do I need to feel my best for work? Maybe it's like inject on a day or right before your lighter movement days. For me, that means I'm more with my chill walks on the weekends, my weighted walks on, Saturdays. I can manage to do those things even if I'm tired. And then number 5 is that emotional bandwidth. I want to get real here for a second. I don't think this is just about being physical. Some people, including myself, we can experience emotional shifts after injections, whether it's, mood dips, anxiety, or just feeling off. I think it matters. So don't just plan around your schedule, also plan around, they say, your emotional bandwidth. If your job is high stress or you're doing something, you're just kind of going through something, maybe give yourself a little space. Maybe journal before, your shot. Maybe making sure someone's home just to check in. Whatever support looks like for you, lean into it as much as you can. So what's the bottom line here? GLP-1s like Mounjaro, Zepbound, and compounded tirzepatide aren't, in my opinion, just about medication. They're about learning your body, your rhythms, and just making this journey really work for you. In some ways, not against you. Time your injection to manage your side effects. Sync it with your cravings and triggers. Build a consistent routine. Respect your energy and just your emotional state. And then a bonus tip, track it. Whether it's in a journal, pen and paper, or an app. I'm testing out 2 of them right now as I'm trying to get into this maintenance phase and taper off. Record how you feel, what you eat, when you take your shot. You'll be able to spot patterns quicker. And also remember, we're all a little bit of a science experiment here. What works for me might not work for you, but together we can share, we can figure this all out. But if this video gave you, some ideas, a little clarity, or even like a little bit of an aha moment, hit the like button, maybe share with somebody on a similar journey, and tell me in the comments, what's your shot day? Why did you choose that to be your shot day? Have you ever changed it? Did changing it help you? I think we need to keep learning together. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And as always, stay focused, stay kind to yourself, and I will catch you later. Bye.